All right, everybody, this video is going to introduce you to this process of laying out blueprints just like this one. It's going to be life size. We're going to put in a 21.5 inch by 16.5 inch page border and start drawing this wall with these measurements and some additional ones that I've got for you here to reference. I'm going to add to this as I go, but I'm going to record a video just to walk you through the process of getting this started. And what you'll end up with is an AutoCAD document that's set up something like this with a couple of walls on it, or space for a couple of walls, and you'll be able to print these and actually build the walls. So here we go. Let me get this thing out of the way. If you haven't started a new drawing yet, the first thing that I want you to do is save it and call it Ranch Walls 1. You can put your name in there also, last name, and then Ranch Walls 1, just to have a baseline save before you get started with anything. So I'm just going to put demo in there since I'm doing my demo on it real quick. So drawing a page border, just start drawing a horizontal line to the right, 21.5, 21.5, vertical line, 16.5. Pressing the mouse wheel down to drag and pan just in case I don't remember. 21.5, going backwards. You can close this off by clicking on it or just type the letter C on the keyboard and close that shape. We're going to do a 1/2 inch offset line from here, so click the offset tool. Go in the offset direction you want, type in 0.5, and have a 1/2 inch offset line. We're going to draw a vertical line, 5.5 inches, 5.5, enter, and that'll be that'll be the length of the studs as we build this. And we can do relatively simply just offsets just to get started here. These are going to be 1/8 inch, 1/8. 1/8. Just make 3 of these for right now. 1/8. What we're going to do is draw some corner blocks in here. Let me just launch this back up. Make this a little bit easier for you to see what I'm talking about. Just put them in some different spots. I can't zoom on this. What I'm trying to do here is draw in these cut pieces, or they're hatched in. They're blocks that form a corner when you're putting this wall 90 degrees to another wall. So just when you start off with a line here, as you hit the end point of it, when you hover over it, you're going to have a tracking system that comes up. What you want to do is type in 0.3, enter, and that's going to offset this 0.3 inches, and then you're just going to come across and draw a horizontal line. Hit the escape key to finish that line. Okay. And then these are going to be now just offset to create the rest of these. So watch this. Offset. Click this line. You're going to have to click it 3 times to get the offset going, but then we're going to offset down 1 inch. And we're going to repeat this 1 inch. An inch. So that's the way the corner is formed. We're just going offsets from the top down, but then what you'll do is you'll come in here to this hatch pattern control, and you can just use a basic hatch pattern for this. You don't have to go nuts. You just go to this third one in here, ANSI 31, and then click inside here, here, and here. Enter. and that forms that. Next thing you can do if you want, this is just a couple of horizontal lines to box in and start boxing in the wall. Type in 5.75 or 5 3/4, 5.75. Hit the escape key to finish that off and do the same thing. You can hit L and then enter to start a line tool if you want to use the hotkeys. That's the easiest way. Again, it's L on the keyboard to start the line. 5.75. Escape. And then you could offset these to make the top plate 1/8. And then offset down here 1/8. And then you can close these. Using L and enter to get those keys set up. Okay. Going back to this, the way this spacing works is you'll have studs every inch. And what I did was I aligned them to the left. But the way that they're working out is you have a construction code. This represents every 16 inches in reality, but every 16 inches you'd have a stud, and it's all mapped out with offsets. So what I'm going to do is offset this first vertical line, not worrying about the other two that are in here. Offset that an inch, and then I'll offset these an eighth of an inch. And then we'll put the window in later. We'll cut that out. So here's what the process looks like for basic framing here. I'm going to offset this first line, click it 3 times to get the offset started. Go in the right sided direction, type in 1, enter. 1, enter. And the whole idea here is if you start doing this and one is too far away, you're not going to include that stuff. Just finish it wherever you can. If it ends up hot, if your last, however long this wall is, you're going to do 1 inch offsets all the time, 5.5 inch tall verticals for your studs every time. You'll always do 1 inch offsets and then put in windows and doors and things after the fact. So that's the layout process, and then these are all going to get mapped out with 1/8 inch offsets. So it's starting to look a whole bunch like this, and then what we've got to do is just put in the pieces for the windowsill, for the header. The windowsill is also going to be 1/8 of an inch. This is going to be 1/4 of an inch vertically to represent the header and the windowsill. Again, the way that this is going to work, I'm going to make sure just this goes into the right place. I'm going to turn the line tool on. We're going to zoom into the third stud that's in here. So what we're going to do is hover over this bottom corner. Whoa, line's got to be on for this to work. So we're going to use tracking. We're going to get on this endpoint here, start going vertically and type in 2.5. It's going to hop up by 2.5 inches, and then we're just going to come across to here. Actually, we're going to trying to think where I want the window opening here. Whoop. That's right. It's got to be here. So you'll see what I mean in a second. There's going to be another offset line here to make another stud. There's a king stud, 1/8. You'll see what I'm doing here in a minute. This gets offset, the windowsill, an eighth of an inch. So let's trim away so you can see where the actual windowsill is. And that's the entirety of the windowsill. There's going to be another block that comes in here like this one. So we'll get there. Just give me a minute. What I'm going to do is offset one of these. Let me just double check my measurement. Yeah. This gets offset next. 2.25 for 2.25, 2.25. And then offset one more time, a quarter of an inch, 0.25 to finish that. So the way you can map out that header, trim these three lines. What we'll do is draw on another vertical line. We're going to start at this endpoint, come over 1/8, 1/8, and enter. It's going to start that line where you need it to be. Put it in there. And then trim away this. It's not in the right spot. Bless you. Huh. What did I do?